Will today's movie Mercy have you exclaiming, Lord have mercy, that was a good movie? Or begging while in the theater, just mercy, kill me now, please? You'll get your answer to that and whether Joaquin Phoenix makes a cameo appearance yelling, Am I not merciful? Next on this episode of Movies America Live.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies America.
Well, hello there, friends and family, boys and girls, ladies and gents, to this latest episode of Movies America Live, where we are maybe going to have mercy on you, or maybe not. I don't know. But as always, I'm your humble host, Van Ebert, and I want to welcome my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics out there. So, and also want to remind you real quick that since this is live, you do have the opportunity to jump in the live chat and we can communicate back and forth with each other via the live chat. And yeah, you can do things like, try to throw me off any kind of game I think that I might have during here in the show. I do try to have a schedule here as I go through the show. And so if you want to kind of throw me off of that by, throwing some crass insults my way, hey, you know what? The power is in your hands. All right. Just get on there and start typing your worst in the live chat there. Plus, hey, if you want to comment about, the movie of the day, Mercy with Chris Pratt, by all means, you can definitely do that right there. But that's just one of the perks of doing this show live. Now, one of the non-perks, I guess, or one of the bad things about it is sometimes technical difficulties take place, and so that's why I'm starting late here today. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it right there. Okay, everybody? Okay. So anyway, so like I said, today is all about Chris Pratt and Mercy. And this movie is directed by Timur. God, I got to look up this guy's last name, man. This guy's last name is a mouthful. Okay, so Timur Bekmambetov. Bekmambetov. There we go. That's the pronunciation we're going with today here. Don't know if that's the right one, but hey, I'm an ugly American. I can't pronounce four names very well. So, but anyway, so Timur Bekmambetov, you may recognize the name. I don't know, with a name like that, I don't know, but he also directed the fantastic movie Wanted back in 2008 there with James McAvoy and Angelina Jolie. That was a movie where James McAvoy's character and other characters could make the bullets spin around and curve and all that stuff, and it's the team of assassins that they have this factory where they're weaving stuff, and the weave and the threads tell them who they need to assassinate in order to keep the balance in the world. Anyway, so that was Wanted. It's a fantastic movie. It was trippy, but it was good. It was definitely different from really anything that we've seen there. And then he went on to follow it up with the forgettable, the regrettable, the absolute cinematic trash turd that is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I think a couple years after that, so or whatever, and he totally did not redeem himself after that. So no, he did not. And then, of course, as far as who stars in Mercy here, of course, we got Chris Pratt, the aforementioned Chris Pratt. And then we also have Rebecca Ferguson here. A lot of people might know her more recently as she plays Isla Faust. Is that her name in the Mission Impossible movies? There, I think it is, or Isla or Isla or whatever. So, and so yeah, she's also in the movie. She plays like the AI judge in the movie, and then really not anybody else recognizable. And Mercy, they it just no household names or anything like that in this. But the plot pretty much is so you get we start out the movie. The movie like jumps right into the plot, and the movie starts out with Chris Pratt. He finds himself he's locked into this chair, and he's in this big old room, and then all suddenly Rebecca Ferguson's face shows up on a big screen in front of him, and and she's narrating or saying, this is the Mercy Court. You have been found guilty of a crime, and in 90 minutes, you have 90 minutes to prove your innocence. Otherwise, the chair is going to take your ass out. Okay. And so then Chris Pratt, of course, he's surprised to find himself in the chair. He's, at first he's like, get me out of here, and then eventually, he figures it out like, oh crap. Okay. Yeah, I know what this is. Like I've sent cops or I'm a cop. I've sent people to this chair. And that's probably an important detail. He plays a cop named Chris Raven. I know Chris Pratt, Chris Raven, very, very imaginative, character name right there. And so he realizes, okay, I got to prove my innocence. It's over 90 minutes throughout this movie. For a lot of the movie, you've got the AI judge played by Rebecca Ferguson, like showing like, okay, we pretty much think that there's a 96.7% chance that you killed your wife. Okay. And that's the crime that he's accused of, is killing his wife. And so when he hears that, he's like, oh my God, what? I didn't kill my wife. And so then the court starts showing him footage that they used and evidence that they used to determine how that he is guilty of the crime. And of course, it looks bad for him at first. So then throughout the 90 minutes, again, like I said, he's got to try to use video footage and live video footage, and the judge helps him with whatever video and documentation, and whoever he needs to call to prove his innocence. And I guess that's the thing with this court is, if you call somebody, I mean, I don't know if they have to pick up, but if they do pick up, the AI judge is like, sir, ma'am, okay, you're being called to help out in this case. You need to provide the information for the defendant, blah, blah, blah. So the judge does stuff like that. So anyway, that's the plot of the movie. I mean, the trailer tells you that all. That's not spoiling anything right there. That is definitely the plot. And so I just wanted to lay that out there for you right there. Okay. But real quick here, before I go even further into the Mercy movie here, I'm going to grab me a drink here. And that is just my reminder to remind you that, hey, you know what, if you're drinking whatever, beer, Cosmo, wine, whatever, hey, drink up, okay? Because I want you guys to be able to relax while you're checking out this live Movies Merica episode here, all about Mercy here. So, but without further ado, okay. So, just to let you guys know, before I get further into the movie, I am not recommending going to the theater to see Mercy whatsoever. Okay. Save your hard earned dollars. Don't bother going to the theater. Don't load up the kiddies into the car to go see this Chris Pratt Mercy movie. Okay. I know it did win the box office weekend. It finally dethroned Avatar Fire and Ash. But the people that helped this movie do that, I'm sure they're probably walking out of the movie right now going, oh, God, honey, it was your idea to go see this stupid Mercy movie. It wasn't my idea. It was your idea. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. No, it wasn't. So there's probably going to be a lot of conversations you're going to be hearing, if you do make the unwise choice to go see this movie, in spite of me telling you, don't go see it. Okay. So don't do that right there. But all I have to say here as I continue is, viewing public, meet Timur Minority Report. Timur Minority Report, meet the viewing public. Mercy was dropped right when it deserved to be dropped, in the Siberia of the movie release calendar, otherwise known as January. Sure, I mean, every once in a while we get a surprise January gem like The Beekeeper with Jason Statham, or Megan a few years ago, with the doll that kills everybody, and then last week's 28 years later, The Bone Temple. Those are some January gems, but unmercifully, Mercy isn't one of those gems. Okay, and I like Chris Pratt's performances in most movies, but in Mercy, he is just wooden. Okay, I mean, think of your most wooden actors there, like old school Keanu Reeves, stuff like that, right? And it doesn't help that he is locked into a chair for most of the movie, so he doesn't have his full faculties to use in his performance. Okay, he's not doing any dancing like Star Lord in Guardians of the Galaxy or anything like that. He's locked into a chair there, people. Okay, and we do get to see Pratt playing a character that does things that make it hard to root for him. Like we do root for him in most movies that he's in. In Mercy, he's full of rage and selfishness in some parts of this. So let that be a lesson to you, boys and girls. You could one day find yourself locked in a chair, charged with murder, having to prove your innocence, all because of rage and selfishness. We do not get Star Lord or Owen Grady from the Jurassic World movies or James Reese from the Terminalist from Pratt in this. We get alcoholic, quick tempered, and stupid enough to not pay at least the minimum of ample attention to a wife who looks like Annabelle Wallis. Okay. And if you don't know what Annabelle Wallis looks like, Google her. You'll know what I mean by that last part of that sentence. Okay. In other words, a loser who we're supposed to be rooting for in this cure for insomnia. I mean, the one upside of Mercy is I got a pretty good power nap in, and I am appreciative. Okay, and also the heated seats in the theater helped right there. And to be honest with you, this clip of Chris Pratt accidentally letting it slip on national TV before telling his wife that he's going to Seattle for the Seahawks playoff game is more exciting than the movie, quite honestly, here. So let me do this real quick.
I know you're a big Seattle fan. They going all the way?
I think so. This weekend is going to be a really tough test. In my opinion, that's the biggest matchup. And if there was a way for the Rams and the Seahawks to meet in the Super Bowl, I think those are the two best teams right now. I was at the last Rams Seattle game, and that was an amazing miracle comeback. And they're just an even better team now with Devontae Adams. So LA's got to come through Seattle, and that's not an easy place to win a football game. The 12th man is real. They're loud. It's a hard place to go win. I'm really hoping that we show up in Seattle.
Will you be there?
I just got the invite to be able to go, so I got to talk to Mama, because I've been on the road, and so I don't know if she's gonna be super stoked that I come home and immediately go to Seattle. But yes, I'm gonna be there. If you're watching, honey, I'm going to Seattle.
We can hang out. I'll be there too, man.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go.
We'll hang out. We'll have a good time.
It was out of your mouth before you call
Yeah.
yourself.
Whoops.
Thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right, there you go. So see what I mean? I mean, that clip right there, that would instantly be the most exciting part of Mercy there, and you'll find that out, if maybe even if you have the unfortunate circumstance of watching it on streaming, okay, because that's about the only time I would recommend checking out this movie there, if even that. I mean, I probably wouldn't even recommend watching this movie, unless you wake up in the middle of the night, in the middle of the morning, 3:30, you're laying on a couch and you look up and this movie Mercy is on Stars or something like that. And even then, I'd be like, just shut the TV off and go to bed. It's a more productive use of your time than watching Mercy right here. To be quite honest with you, there, people. Okay, so I'm not trying to steer you wrong. I just don't want you to waste your money on this movie there. Okay, so. All right, so let me do this here real quick and just remind you that actually there is this thing called the like button that is right down there if you're watching the show. And feel free to hit that like button if you want. And then also there is the subscribe or follow button down there as well. And go ahead and click on that if you haven't already. If you already have, don't click on it again because you'll unsubscribe or unfollow. And then also there's a notification bell down there, and that does exactly kind of what it sounds like. When you click on that, it's just going to send you one measly, lowly little email a week, just letting you know that there is a piping hot, fresh, scintillating, delicious new episode of Movies Merica coming out of the oven just for you, and then everybody else too. But anyway, we'll just forget about that, okay? And then also, this is to the viewers of the show that didn't have a chance to watch it live, and you just watched the recording of it. Well, first off, hi, welcome, thanks for watching, especially to you guys if you're watching this in the year 2047, okay? Let me know. Have the Cubs won another World Series at that time yet? Anyway. So, but what I wanted to say to you guys who didn't have a chance to watch this live, we can still communicate back and forth with each other. We're just gonna have to do it via the comments section down below. Get in the comments section and just let me know what you think and all of that stuff right there. But I already feel myself belaboring that point right there. So we're going to get into some more Mercy with Chris Pratt real quick here. And, in Mercy, we're supposed to believe that the people and the corrupt commie politicians of Los Angeles just signed off on getting rid of courtrooms, juries, and those useless stenographers. What do they do anyway? I don't know. Some people call them court reporters, and replacing it with an AI criminal justice system. A criminal justice system that's connected to the internet, that could be hacked in many different ways to dictate one's innocence or guilt. I know this is real life and Mercy is a movie, but you can't expect the audience to believe this is something that actually would be put into place, all right? I mean, judges and juries can be bought off or intimidated, and immoral actors use that to create a two-tier justice system. We all know this, right? I'm not telling you anything you don't know already. Now, with an AI criminal justice system, they lose that ability. They can't do that. They can't strong arm people or anything like that. So, and also with how the plot shows that an investigation led by human to prove innocence is still more accurate than one led by a super advanced AI system, this creates a plot fallacy that this movie didn't account for. I mean, can AI not interview people while they're building a case? Apparently, they didn't do that before putting Star-Lord in a kill chair with plans to execute him in 90 minutes. I mean, that's just one of the million reasons why Minority Report, the classic, legendary Steven Spielberg sci-fi movie, that's just one of the million reasons why Minority Report is a far, far superior movie to this one. I mean, Minority Report addressed these issues when Tom Cruise, as John Anderton, says, "You see the dilemma, don't you? If you don't kill me, precogs were wrong and pre-crime is over. If you do kill me, you go away, but it proves the system works. The precogs were right." In other words, just stay home and watch Minority Report again instead. All right, just do yourself a favor right there, okay? So, all right, let me do this here real quick, and I am going to get something to drink, but I'm also going to do it in service of one of many's favorite segments of every Movies America episode. And that, of course, would be the deliciously thirst quenching brew review time. All right, let me introduce you to the brewski for today. And that would be this 715 Shandy. And this comes to us out of the Brewing Project. That's a brewery in Eau Claire or Eau Claire or Wisconsin. I've never figured out how to appropriately pronounce that name, nor do I care. Anyway, sorry, people of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, but I just don't care. Okay, but you know what? If it's any resolution to or any consolation to you, I should say, I do like this beer from your parts of the cheese states. Okay, Wisconsin, and I'm a big fan of this right here. I'm giving up the ghost. I'm letting you know right from the jump with this brew review time that I'm a fan of this right here. And this beer is brewed to honor 715 Day or July 15th, and then also brewed to honor 715, which is the area code that Eau Claire or Eau Claire or Wisconsin happens to be in right here. And this is a shandy with a blend of citrus and wheat in it. And of course, when I think of shandy, as a lot of people think, I think of a summer beer. Now, as of when I'm making this episode, it is definitely not summertime. Far from it. Okay, no one's throwing any beach parties, unless you're in the Maldives or you're in the Virgin Islands right now. But in my part of the world, yeah, no one is going to the beach and doing any summertime activities. So it's probably very little 715 shandy being consumed right now. Okay. And this beer is actually based on their 715 cream ale. And if you're trying to picture in your mind what this tastes like, just think like lemonade with a zesty citrus finish, okay? And this brewery, it uses real lemon and sugar during the brewing process to achieve the sweet and tangy balance right there. I'm just reading that off of their little marketing over here then. And it's definitely got that let me get over here, get a little sniff off this. Yeah, it's got like this very strong zesty scent to it as far as the nose goes to it right here. And it comes to us at 4.96 or almost 5% alcohol by volume here. And so, as far as like what kind of foods it would pair well with, I would say it pairs well with like seafood, shellfish, salty fried foods like onion strips or onion strings, fried pickles, street tacos, spicy wings, that kind of thing. Like roasted meats, like beer can chicken, stuff like that is what this 715 would pair well with right there. So, and I'm making myself hungry, so I should probably just stop talking about food and drink off this thing right here. Excellent. That is very creamy. Okay. Now, if that sounds gross to you as a beer lover, as a beer drinker, it's not gross at all. Okay. I'm making it probably sound worse than it actually is right there. It is very good. It's still got just that slight beer flavor to it to go along with like the refreshing flavor of this. And I'm not getting any money from the brewing project whatsoever. Okay, they're not paying for me to suck up to their beer and anything like that. This is a completely above board objective review. If it tasted like crud, I would tell you. Okay, but anyway, so as far as where you can get it or how you can get it, you can probably like open up the app on your phone, like the Open Bar app. I think it's available for both Android and iOS now. Maybe Uber Eats in your area can deliver it to you there if you've got this beer in your area. I got gopuff.com. That's GOPUFF.com right there. So, and I say all that just to see to it that, hey, you can get your hands on this delicious beer here as well. I don't want to hog this all for myself, okay? Because I'm all about doing for you, all right? I'm all about public service and putting good brew in people's hands right there and yeah, getting good brew down people's gullets. There you go. But anyway, I hope, this helps you, get your hands on some 715 Shandy there, and I would definitely recommend it. And that has been Brew Review Time. All right. Okay. So let me do something here real quick. I am just going to do something over here. I'm going to try to do some multitasking here, but what you can do here if you want is while I'm doing this here, let me know, like in the live chat, what your favorite beer is there. So if you want, and I'll see if I like it or not. There you never know. I might. I mean, I like good beer, but I'm not completely a beer snob. I mean, I'm I'm discriminatory, uh, enough to know that I don't drink Bud Light, I don't drink piss water, I don't drink Coors Light or anything like that. So now, if I go to some picnic or something like that, and we're going, bass fishing or something like that, and somebody hands me like some free, Coors Light or something like that, well, you know what? I'm gonna drink it. I'm not gonna be, insulting or anything like that. I mean, it's free, so at least I won't have to say that, hey, I drink this terrible beer and I paid for it. No, I didn't pay for it. So, I will drink it there. Plus, it's insulting, right? If somebody hands you a free beer and you don't drink that right there, it's not cool if you don't take them up on that offer right there. As I'm desperately trying to multitask over here. And all right, so let's get into this here real quick. I just want to show you something here that I think you're gonna really, really thank me for showing you here because it could open up some conversations for you with people there in your life right there, and it might come in very handy. And also, you might get some cool stuff to wear. And so, of course, what I mean by that is I'm talking about the Movies Merica merch store here. Yes, I couldn't go throughout this whole episode without at least letting you gaze and take a peek at the Movies Merica merch store right here. And so, if this looks familiar, this hat right here, obviously it's the one I'm wearing. But as you can tell from the hat that I'm wearing, unfortunately, the company that makes this hat can't get the purple on the logo, which I know I'm disappointed too as well. But if you're still digging the hat, the way that it looks, as I'm wearing it right here, yeah, you can grab yourself a hat there. But we got so much stuff, so much more things here as far as Movies Merica merch here as well. I'm just going to scroll down here a little bit. And as you see, we got T-shirts there with that's one Movies Merica logo. That's not the only Movies Merica logo they can get on T-shirts right there. We got hoodies and windbreakers. We got sports bra. You got Big Mugs sports bra. A Big Mugs sports bra there, I should say. Here's another Movies Merica logo style here. That's the Hollyweird Movies Merica logo. And then we're getting down to my personal favorite style of Movies Merica as far as the Movies Merica logo. And that's like the Black Adam style of Movies Merica logo right here, as you see that on a t-shirt. And you can get that, on a baseball long sleeve shirt, tank top right there. Maybe I call them wife beaters, but that's just probably because I've watched just way too much Cops there. So, if you see yourself, being on a future episode of Cops, you're smacking your old lady around, you're going to run out of the double wide and hide underneath the kiddie pool in your front yard right next to the pink flamingo, and try to hide from the cops. And you want yourself, a quality wife beater to wear while you're doing that. Well, you could do a lot worse than this Black Adam tank top right there. So there you go. I mean, if that doesn't move some tank tops, I don't know what will. But if you're not into tank tops, but you are a frequently thirsty person, well, then, yeah, we've got, coffee cups and pint glasses and this Big Mugs can-shaped glass. Got a koozie there to keep things cool and all of that stuff right there. But as you see, yeah, we're not hurting for selection here with Movies Merica merch right there. And like I insinuated before, when I've worn Movies Merica merch like this hat right here, it's a conversation starter. I mean, people will come up and just straight up ask, "Hey, what's Movies Merica? What is that?" And I'll explain to them, and it gets some good conversations going there. So it helps you, and it's helping you improve your social skills. It's already helping you out right there. And then one of the persons that asked me what Movies Merica is was let's just say a very attractive woman. Okay, very luminescent. Okay, and I will just leave it at that. Okay, but if you're wondering, hey Van, how do I get to this awesome Movies Merica merch store? Well, we're making it very easy for you. Okay, we've got the link to the store down in the description down below, right there, so you can check that out right there, everybody. And and then also Movies Merica merch makes a great gift as well because you don't want to wear the same thing everybody's wearing, right? I mean, you don't want to wear like Columbia stuff because people are always wearing Columbia stuff or Patagonia, or Polo or stuff like that. You want to wear stuff that that makes you stand out, right? And Movies Merica merch, like Movies Merica apparel, hats, shirts, whatever, will make you stand out in a good way right there. Okay, so check that out. So, but enough about that. I know. You're like, move on there, Van. Okay, I've had enough. Had enough. You're trying to push merch on us there, okay? But so we're going to get into some more Mercy right now. And I just have some random thoughts about Mercy with Chris Pratt. And my first random thought is, I tell you, these screen time movies, and what I mean by that are movies where you're seeing the action on a screen in the movie instead of being in the actual action. So basically you're seeing the action in the perspective of some character watching it on a screen in the movie, like you see in this movie. Chris Pratt's just, watching things that are happening in life just on a screen, on the chair that he's locked into, right? And he can look up, he sees like the big displays right next to Rebecca Ferguson's face there and the movie, and you're not in the action in the movie, you're watching it on a screen there. And these movies bore me to death. I mean, there's another movie called Searching with John Cho, and then there's the movie War of the Worlds that came out last year, with Ice Cube. They're the same way. I mean, they just lulled me to sleep, and that's because with these movies you don't get that same impactful, visceral experience. And for me, at least, it's the cinematic equivalent of a warm glass of milk and 10 Nitols there for sure. So just to let you guys know about that. But that was just my first I was looking at something. My first example of a random thought there as I'm looking here. I just want to double check. So I'm trying to cue something up here. And let's do this. I think I might have. What did I do here? All right. Just cross my T's and dot my I's here as I get along here. Oh, you know what? I think I just got to. All right. Well, let's do this. I just got to do this and do that. All right. See, you're seeing the shortcomings of doing a episode live, but hey, what are you gonna do here? Believe me, this is gonna be worth your while when I go into this and show you this right here. But also it's just your opportunity to drink some more of this, which I'm going to, the old 715 Shende, as I wait for this thing real quick. So but I gotta quench my thirst, because sitting here on my butt talking about movies it's thirsty work. Excellent. All right, here we go. So my second random thought about Mercy is this is Chris Pratt's second collaboration with Timur Bekmambetov. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly. All right. And Pratt, so the first collaboration he had with this guy, this director, he was on the much superior to this movie, Wanted, back in 2008 here. So remember, I was mentioning that movie Wanted earlier with James McAvoy and Angelina Jolie that was directed by this Timur Bekmambetov. But I'm not sure if I mentioned that Chris Pratt was also in that movie, which is kind of trippy when you watch that now, because you're like, whoa, Chris Pratt, he's like a big star right now. But he was definitely just a lowly supporting player in Wanted here. But check it out for yourself.
You think they have that morning after pill here? That thing works. Crush it up, put it in an omelet. Hey, baby, breakfast in bed. Never be too safe. Oh, God. I lost my wallet somewhere.
All this together?
No.
Yes.
He is the man.
How much is it?
Oh, plus this?
20.42.
Watermelon. Chicks dig it.
Thanks. See you next time. Have a good night.
I love these energy drinks, man. I'm almost like kind of on an energy drink cleanse, where I do one for breakfast and then like...
You just wish they could see you in a different setting, a different place, instead of where you are, what you've become.
Call me so hot.
What?
Boom goes the dynamite. Leslie. Hey. What's up with you?
What do you mean?
You're here early. Is there, you seem a little pepped up. You all right?
Well, yeah. Yeah. I guess I feel kind of different.
Whatever. I'm gonna go get some Post-it notes. Do you want one?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. It's great, bro. Who's the man?
I'm the man.
So yeah, it's a great movie there. I got yeah, it's pretty much, if you watch the movie, not pretty much, you will notice it. Yeah, Chris Pratt, he just plays like this really piece of crap, disloyal, best friend to James McAvoy's character in that. So, but if you like action movies with some good humor to it, as you saw in those scenes right there, but yeah, it's just. And I saw that movie before Chris Pratt was a big star, because I saw that movie when it first came out in 2008. He was far, far away from even like Parks and Recreation and then Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I think he was in Zero Dark 30, and all like these movies before he was in before he became the big star that he is now. So, but I just thought you guys might enjoy checking those scenes out there from A Wanted. But if you've never seen Wanted, watch the whole thing. It's great. It was like a part of a great summer movie season back in 2008. Because another little movie that you may have, well, I'm sure you probably have forgotten it, but another little movie that came out in 2008 in the summertime, in addition to Wanted, was The Dark Knight. Okay. And then, of course, Iron Man, that came out in 2008. So really good summer movie season. But Wanted provided a alternative in that it was original there. Now I think Wanted is like based off a graphic novel or something like that. So, but not a lot of people know it like Batman or like Batman or Iron Man. But anyway, but I digress about that. But those are just a couple of random thoughts that I had about Mercy going on real quick here. But all right, let's do this here and let's move on. Okay, just want to just take a couple minutes, probably not even that long, to let you know that I do have another show that comes on every week, and that comes on Thursday night, and that is my Movies Merica spoiler warning show, and that's where I go into more depth about the movie that I'm talking about today. Okay, so Sunday is the Movies Merica live show where I do like the spoiler-free live review of typically the latest movies, not always. And then Thursday is when I bust out the scalpel and the suction and really do an autopsy on the movie for better or worse. Okay, in this case, it's going to be worse because this is not a very good movie here. But I'm going to be, basically doing a deep dive and really just getting in there and doing an autopsy on why this movie pretty much sucks. Okay, so you can imagine that's not going to be a fun show for me. Now, it might be a fun show for you on Thursday night, because then you get to see me suffer as I'm trying to do this analytical show about a movie that I just don't think is good whatsoever. But that show on Thursday night is Movies Merica spoiler warning. Okay, and as the title implies, there will be spoilers during that show right there. But probably would help if I let you know what time that show comes on Thursday night, right? And that would be 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, and 4 p.m. Pacific time right there, okay? And probably the easiest way to watch it is on Thursday morning, typically on Thursday morning, the links to watch the show, the Rumble link and then the YouTube link comes out on Thursday morning, where you can use that to watch the show. Or you can just go to Rumble and just search Movies Merica and then Mercy there. So, and then you'll be able to watch the show that way on Thursday night right there. So what I would recommend, actually, the ultimately easiest way to watch the show is if you go to my @Movies Merica X account. I'll have the links right there in my feed under @Movies Merica on X there, or under Movies Merica on Facebook, a number of different ways, all right? You have no excuse for not watching, okay? Unless you're like, going through some kind of medical emergency, or, you're behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler or something like that. Especially now, icy roads, winter conditions. Yeah, even I run this show, and I would not recommend you, I guess you could watch it, listen to it there on Thursday night if you're behind an 18-wheeler on some icy, frozen, highways. So there you go. But anyway, that's my lame way. I'm having a struggle session here trying to promote my Thursday night show, but check it out. I mean, this Thursday night, I know it's going to be about a lame movie, but we'll have some fun there as well because I do a segment called the movie military moment where I pay tribute, I pay honor to a recipient of the Congressional Medal of Honor because I'm ex-military myself. So I do that. I have another brew review time there as well where I'll review a beer there. Not the 715 Shandy because that's been done. I just did that today. It'll be a completely different brew that I'll go over in brew review time on Thursday night there. And then usually I have something like the top 5 list of something. Like my last episode, I did like the top 5 musical scenes in movies there and that kind of thing. So stuff like that. So we'll have some fun regardless. We'll have some laughs. We'll have some yucks. And, while I'm doing it, you can drink up and all that stuff. Get hammered out of your gourd or, just drink your Mountain Dew and stay totally sober. It is up to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. All right? Okay, that's enough hawking of my Movies America spoiler warning show on Thursday. And now it's time to let you guys know whether Mercy is a woke after school special, okay? And some of you might be asking that, especially like Gen Z, Gen Alpha, you might be like, what is an after school special? Well, I'll explain to you what that is. So back in the day, back in like the 80s and 70s, ancient times, when T-Rexes and Velociraptors roamed the earth, they had these things called after school specials where they came on, just like it's implied, after school. You'd come home from school on TV, they'd have these after school specials. And typically after school specials would be all about teaching kids about don't smoke or don't take drugs or don't get in a car with a drunk driver, right? And they'd be like this really corny shows about just cautionary tales and teaching you not to do bad things in life and that kind of thing. It's very corny, very cheesy, and so like some movies now not as much as say 10 years ago or 5 years ago, but nowadays we still have occasionally will get a movie where it's more worried about being a corny woke after school special, where it's teaching you the best way to live the woke lifestyle. And if you're a white person watching the movie, it's teaching you how evil you are and what an oppressor you are and all that stuff. Like, and so I want to warn people away from movies like that. Okay, I want to direct people to, and I want to turn people on to movies where it's basically trying to do what movies are for: entertain you, okay, and not bore you with a woke lecture and all that stuff. But anyway, so let's get to whether Mercy is a corny, cheesy, woke after school special. And thankfully, Mercy has mercy on us and spares us the woke. I cannot see Chris Pratt signing on to do a movie with any woke in it anyway. I mean, he's in real life, Chris Pratt, he's a level-headed Christian man with a functioning brain. So he's not gonna agree to a movie with woke in it. Matter of fact, that's why a lot of people and some critics hate him. I mean, he dares to be a Christian in a country that was founded on Christian values. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, that's the truth right there. If you have a problem with that, there's a number of different countries you can move to. Matter of fact, I'll help you pack. Okay, and some of the commie orcs. Something else that they're saying about this movie is they're saying that this is a pro-cop movie. No, it is not. Okay. It has a corrupt cop character in it. And quite frankly, this movie makes some cops look very incompetent. Okay. Matter of fact, a lot of the cops look completely incompetent in this movie, to be perfectly honest with you right there. And hey, we got Lindy Rig 87 in the live chat right there, and he is lurking right there. And no, but I appreciate it all the same. Good to see you there, brother. And by lurking, he means he is like listening to the show, but he's not like actively, excuse me, interacting with it, like live chatting. Well, he did live chat that, so, but he's lurking, doing some other things and all that stuff. So hopefully he's not watching the BLM football league. But if he is, he is. Hey, that's his right. There you go. I just don't watch the BLM football league, and I know that the conference championship games are on right now and that kind of thing. So, but and once they started putting the names of like convicted rapists on the back of the helmets, trying to get you to support convicted rapists. I was like, yeah, the NFL isn't what I'm used to it being right there. So I'm going to stop watching. There you go. But anyway, that's a total separate diatribe right there. But yeah, again, it makes the cops look very incompetent there, if I can spit that out. And I guess some consider any movie where the cops aren't constantly portrayed as bad guys stomping out people Rodney King style a pro cop movie, okay? In the end, though, Mercy mercifully isn't woke. Okay, so I will give Mercy that right there. That is a feather in its cap, is that it is not a woke after school special. So I mean, there you go. Bravo to you, Mercy, and Timur Bekmambetov, or whatever your last name is. They're good for you. Okay, so real quick here, I just want to let you guys know that if you guys are appreciating what I'm doing here enough, like warning you if a movie is a woke after school special, or letting you know just plainly whether a movie sucks or if it's good. If you appreciate doing that enough to throw maybe a buck or two my way, well, you can definitely do that here, and I'm going to let you guys know how you can do that if you're watching live, how you can do that in Rumble or YouTube. And so in Rumble, in the live chat window, if you go to the live chat window, and it's usually pretty easy how to get to the live chat window in Rumble or YouTube. There's a button that says chat or live chat somewhere down below, okay? And when you click on that, it'll pop up the live chat window. And then down by where you can type a live chat message there's a button in Rumble, and it has a $sign on it. Just click on that, and it's just going to pop up another window where it's going to ask you how much you want to donate to this guy right here. And that's it. It's very simple, okay? And then also, if you are on the YouTube side, it works similarly to how it works on Rumble. It's uncanny. It's scary how similar it works on YouTube. So on YouTube, you just click the chat button or live chat button down there, okay, if you're not in the live chat already. And then down by where you type in your live chat message, there's a button with a dollar bill on it. And when you click on that, hey, it's going to ask you how much you want to donate there to, again, this guy right here. And then, again, that's it. Very simple, very easy, simple as a pimple, okay? There you go. But that's only if you feel I deserve it, I don't always, donate money when I watch a live stream or anything like that. So I'm not going to hold you to it whatsoever there. But anyway, just thought I would cast that or throw that out there. The fact that you can, if you want, throw a little moolah my way if you're appreciating anything that I'm doing. Okay, because to be honest with you, if you were thinking about seeing Mercy there, I just saved you a lot of money. Well, a lot of money potentially if you were going to not just take yourself, but you're going to take the missus or the mister, and you're going to take your 6 kids, because it's PG-13. It has like one F-bomb in it, okay? But, some people might take their kids to this right here. So I might have potentially saved you like $250 because no, you're not going to take your kids to a movie and not have to get them treats and snacks and a big cup of pop that they can swim laps in it. You're gonna have to buy all that stuff, all right? And by the time you're all done with that, yeah, you're into the theater. You're into the theater for about $250, all right? So I saved you all that money, okay? But hey, if you're gonna go there by yourself or with just your significant other, hey, that's still some righteous change that I saved you right there. So there you go. So if you can appreciate that enough to throw a buck or two my way, that's how you do it. There you go. Enough about that. All right. So let's move on here with my final thoughts about Mercy. And my final thoughts about Mercy are very simple. Don't go see this movie. Okay. Have some mercy on your wallet. Have some mercy on your bank account. Have some mercy on your sense of peace and contentment, because you will not have peace with your, in contentment. Because if you do go see this, let me rephrase that. I totally blew a line right there. Okay, so all right, you will not have peace and contentment if you ignore my advice and go see this movie. There you go. All right, and I know they say this movie's in IMAX. Don't let that fool you. All right, it doesn't matter. A movie in IMAX, if a movie sucks It still sucks in IMAX. It just sucks bigger on a bigger screen. All right, the suck is bigger. Anyway, and then also they're talking about I was saying earlier that Mercy won the box office this weekend. I mean, it knocked Avatar: Fire and Ash, out of the number one spot for the first time in 5 weeks. Again, don't let that fool you, because no doubt Mercy, when you're watching, the BLM football league, today, they're going to have the Mercy, trailers showing, and then the number one movie of the weekend. Don't be fooled. All right, it's the number one suck fest in the theaters for the weekend. Okay, so if you're old enough, hey, and you can go to R-rated movies. Go see 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, instead. Hell, I'll even recommend Avatar: Fire and Ash over Mercy. Okay, to be quite honest with you, and even that movie's not even that great. Okay, but it's better than Mercy. That is for sure right there. Okay, but real quick here, let me double check some information. I want to make sure I'm not missing out on anybody. Right there. There you go. And hey, we already got somebody that's appreciative right there. And Black Shirt 5530 says, thank you for saving us the money, and have some mercy on your bank account. There you go. Well, thank you for joining us here, Black Shirt 5530 right there. And I am happy to help you out in any way that I can. It's the least I can do. So, but real quick here, just let me let you guys know, if you guys do want to follow me on, the social medias there, if you are so inclined to get on there. I'm on X, like I said before. I'm on X under @MoviesMerica. And then I'm also on Facebook. I got a Facebook page and a Facebook group under Movies America. I also have my Van Ebert profile page on Facebook if you want to check that out there as well. I am on Rumble, of course. If you're checking me out on Rumble, you know, like, duh, Van, I know you're on Rumble. I'm watching you on Rumble. And I'm on there under Movies America, of course. Now, you might see like 2 or 3 Movies America accounts on Rumble. If you would, please follow all 3 of them. That would be fantastic there. And then I'm also, of course, on YouTube. That's a little harder to differentiate, like, where I'm at on YouTube. If you just like look up Movies America and then like a movie name, like, you can do that, like, after the episode today, Movies America, Mercy, and then you might have to do a little scrolling, but you'll find the episode and then you can like the episode. But I'm under the Whiskey Cap, or the Till Death Podcast Network on YouTube, and so there's no Movies America Network on YouTube. It's the Till Death Podcast Network, and then I'm one of the channels underneath that. So anyway, I know it's confusing. Okay, but just follow me on Rumble. Okay, and then I'm also on Gab as well. I'm on Instagram, and so yeah, feel free to follow me on any of those platforms right there. And hey, if you do this, if you direct message me on my X profile, under @Movies America, and if you're not sure how to direct message somebody on X, it's very easy. Just go to their profile, and then up towards the top picture, there's that envelope, a little icon there. Just click on that, and that allows you to direct message them. And yeah, get in there and just say, hey, Van, I followed you on this platform and that platform and that platform, and here's my avatar. This is my username or whatever. Just let me know that, and I will follow you back on those same platforms that you followed me. So there you go. It's an easy peasy, free of charge way of you getting another follower on your platforms, on your accounts right there. So it's just easy. So if you don't do that, that is your own fault right there. That's so easy to go and like my episodes, or go follow me on Rumble or X or Instagram or whatever. So there you go. And also on X, I put like stupid little like movie related posts on there. And so if you want to have mercy on me, that's what I did there. And like, my X posts on there, and just throw a little charity my way, you can definitely do that. Okay. It would warm my heart right there, warm my cockles. Anyway, now I'm just blabbering. So we're going to wrap up this episode of Movies America Live, all about the Chris Pratt movie, Mercy. So again, don't go see it. Go see a better Chris Pratt movie like Guardians of the Galaxy, the Terminalist TV series on Prime. What's another good, like, an out there Chris Pratt movie, like a Jurassic World? Like the first Jurassic World's all right. Let me do this real quick. Let's see here. just going to IMDb this. Look up Chris Pratt, and I'm going to look up his filmography real quick and just let you know like what Chris Pratt movies I would recommend you go see here. So let's check this out. And well, you already know one. I said Wanted. That was one earlier. He's not the star of it, but he's that's a great movie there. Let's see. Of course, The Terminal List. There, that's a TV series. Though it's not a movie. Let's see here. Guardians of the Galaxy. The Tomorrow War on Prime. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of brainless. But it does kind of have some cool visual effects. Does kind of have some cool imagery in it. So the Tomorrow War on Prime. Obviously, any of the MCU movies he's in, I checked those out there. Let's see here. Right, let's check this out. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. The Magnificent Seven. The remake of the Magnificent Seven with him and Denzel and Ethan Hawke. That one's not bad. And let's see here. Oh, Her. The movie Her, the one with Joaquin Phoenix and then Scarlett Johansson, plays like the AI girlfriend of Joaquin Phoenix. Chris Pratt's in that as well. And so that's a pretty good movie with that. Of course, Zero Dark 30, where he plays one of the Navy SEALs, one of the SEAL Team 6 SEALs that goes in there and pops Osama bin Laden. That's a really good one. And let's see here. Oh yeah, Moneyball. I forgot he was in Moneyball. Yeah, he plays one of the baseball players. Moneyball. That's a good one to check out there. So let's see, and that's about it. That is about it that I would recommend as far as Chris Pratt being in for you to go see right there. But anyway, enough about that. Gonna wrap up this episode here, everybody. But before I do, like I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. Howdy, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/moviesmerica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday. You can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under @MoviesMerica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.